Hi yogis, and welcome to practice. It's Suzanne here coming to you from my home yoga studio. Today I have a foundational practice for you based in Warrior 2. We'll be working with Warrior 2 alignment and some of the poses that flow pretty naturally in and out of that pose. Warrior is also known as Virabhadrasana, Vira meaning hero or warrior, and Bhadra meaning friend. So as we practice today, see if you can find that balance, that hero and warrior, that strength element, but then also that friend element of kindness and love. If you can strike that balance, you'll be in a great place. The Warrior 2 poses do a lot to help open the hips. They strengthen the legs. You'll get a little hamstring opening with some of the poses we find as well. And you'll find these poses in a lot of traditional and flow yoga classes. For practice today, you might like a couple of blocks. If you don't have blocks, a folding chair or a step stool might be helpful for you. And then as we practice today, I'll encourage you to be very mindful of the sensations that your body presents. Be very careful if you get red flags or concerns about poses that you're in. We can always modify or even omit poses that don't fit well on your body. And certainly there might be some times where you feel really great sensations like great challenge or comfortable opening, and be conscious and mindful of those as well. So we will start in a standing position. As you come to a standing posture, you can come to the top of your mat. Have your feet about hips distance. So if you take your hands to your hip points, find those hip points, and then straight down, those feet, the center of the feet should sort of line up where you point down. Just a rough measurement. Certainly you can adjust more narrow or a little bit wider if you'd like. And then stand up nice and tall. You can let the hands rest beside the body or take the hands to the heart. Gaze can either close or you can have just nice heavy eyelids just to introduce some softness here. We'll start with a few rounds of breath. So take a deep inhale and let it go. And then find a cadence of the breath, inhaling and exhaling. Certainly breathing through your nose if that's available. If you're congested or if that's difficult, breathe through the mouth. And take a few more rounds here as we settle in, maybe welcoming that energy of strength and welcoming the balancing energy of kindness, of friendship. And now, here we go. We're going to add a little movement with the arms. So on your inhale, start to reach the arms towards overhead. And exhale, bring hands to the heart. And do that again. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a moment and pause. Again, coming back to that energy of strength and kindness. And now let's find that arm motion, but in the opposite direction. So inhale to reach. Exhale, open up. Inhale to reach. Exhale, open. Inhale to reach. Exhale, open. Come back to center. Again, coming back to that grounding energy of strength and kindness. We'll add just a little more movement. So when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, bend the knees and come forward in a fold with a strong back as far as you want to go. Hands can come to the blocks or they can come to the shins. Take a moment here in this forward fold. You can adjust the bend of the knee and notice how that affects the backs of the legs, the low back. Find a place maybe of gentle tension, but still where you feel some release. And then if you can, roll the shoulders away from the ears, create some space for the neck. Find a little shake yes and no of the head. And then from here, press either into the blocks or into the shins. Lift the heart so the back is in a tabletop shape. You can keep a soft bend in the knees if you'd like. Maybe feel that strengthening through the back. Feel the work through the legs. Now, take an inhale, and as you exhale, sit the hips back. Float those hands to the heart. And then come up to standing. Maybe reach those arms overhead with the inhale. And exhale, hands come to the heart. So let's repeat those motions, but let's flow through it with the breath. Here we go. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, strong back, forward fold. Inhale, come to a half lift. You can keep a bend in the knees. Exhale, sit the hips back, float hands to the heart. And then inhale, come to stand. Hands come to the heart. Let's go one more time. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees and find the fold. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, sit the hips back. And then inhale, come to stand. Bringing hands to the heart. Good. Now, since Warrior 2 is an open hip posture, let's do just a little bit of warm up with our hips. So take those hands to the hips, sit the hips back where the knees are behind the toes, just so you have little shock absorbers here. And take an inhale and pick up that right knee, swing the knee wide-ish, and then set it back down, come into the little squat. And then do the left side. Pick left side up, little knee circle, and then set it down to the squat. Keep it going. Inhale, pick it up and sweep. Exhale, squat down. Inhale, pick it up and sweep. Exhale, squat down. A couple more each side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now come to standing. If you need to adjust those feet again so they're hips distance, take a moment, hands to the heart, and come back to that intention of strength and kindness. So here we go. Let's find our first Warrior 2 pose. On an inhale, reach those arms overhead. As you exhale, bend the knees, find the forward fold. Use those blocks for support if you want, and step the left foot back. So spin the heel down, and we're looking for a length where you can maintain, but then you have a little bit of work going on in that front quad, and you can ground and keep that back heel nice and strong. Know that you can adjust the stance when you come up, but take your best guess of where that is right now. So when you're ready, with that back heel down, you're going to come up and turn your heart towards the long side of the mat. So take a moment and just set the legs. The front knee and toe are pointing forward, roughly, but working together. The back heel is down and the back foot is nice and strong. Now, if you feel like you didn't go quite long enough, inch the feet a little longer. If you feel like you went maybe too far, bring the legs back in. You want some work in this quad, but you want to feel stable and strong in this pose. So bring hands to the heart if you feel stable. Take your gaze forward over that right shoulder. You can certainly stay here or reach the arms wide, and they reach active and strong. Now, wherever you've landed, let's take 3 breaths. Take an inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. We'll come into triangle pose now. Same configuration with the feet. Left hand rests on the hip for a moment. Straighten the front leg and reach like you could touch the wall in front of you or touch something like way out in front of you. Hand comes to the thigh or to the shin. There's a little push down as you activate that right side body. Shoulders away. Keep the gaze down at the toes, especially if you're at all wobbly today. And open the heart up. Now, if you feel stable, you're going to reach that left arm towards the sky. And take 3 breaths. When you're ready, bring that hand back to the hip, bend through the front knee, and then send that right arm forward. So we're back to that warrior two shape. If you want, you can take that arm out for a moment. From our warrior two shape, reach forward again like we did in triangle. And then this time, let the right forearm rest on the thigh. Take a little push down because you want that right side body nice and active, shoulders away from the ear. Again, gaze stays down at the toe. That's just a little more stable. Make sure that front knee is still pointing forward and lying, working with the toes. And then if you want, extend the left arm towards the sky. 3 breaths here. Good. Bring that hand to the hip. Come back up. Find your way towards that warrior two shape. Both hands to the hips now. And now point the toes to the long side of the mat. I'm actually going to bring my feet in just a little bit. You can go as wide or as narrow. Just make sure you have a solid stance. From here, take an inhale. Exhale, come forward towards the tabletop. Hands can come to the thighs, or if you have the block, take the hands to 1 or 2 of the blocks. Make sure that stance feels stable and strong. Take 3 breaths here. Now we'll find a little twist. I won't be mirroring you here. Right hand to the block, left hand to the hip. Turn your heart to the left. Let the hips kind of shift. Come into a twist. 3 breaths. Now switch sides. Left hand to the block, right hand to the hip. Turn the heart. Let the hips shift. 3 breaths. Go ahead and release down. Bend those knees. We'll pivot towards the top of the mat and then step to the top of the mat. Find that little half forward fold. Certainly if you wanted, you could dangle here, bend the knees, let the spine drape. That would be a nice alternative. Adjust those feet again to about hips distance. Take an inhale. As you exhale, sit the hips back and then come all the way up to standing. Bringing hands to the heart. And then let's find each of those poses on the left side. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Soften the knees, find the forward fold. Left foot stays forward, right foot steps back. Spin the heel down, so looking for that heel to arch alignment just to start. So the front heel might intersect the back arch if I were to draw a little line down. Take a moment, try to find the length that works for you, and this might be different than the first side, so play around with it. When you feel like you're in a good spot, when you feel like you're stable, press into that thigh and come up. Turn your heart to the long side of the mat. Now that you're upright, you might need to adjust the stance. Left knee and toes are pointing pretty much forward. Strong connection with the back foot. If you feel stable, turn your gaze forward. If you want to add the arms, reach the arms. Take 3 breaths. Now, take the right hand to the hips, straighten the legs, reach forward, shift forward, coming into that triangle shape. Left knee can be straight or you can have a soft bend. Hand presses down to thigh or shin, just not on the knee. Turn the heart open, gaze stays down at the toes to help with balance. If you want, add the reach of the right arm and take 3 breaths. Bring that hand back down, come back towards that warrior two shape. Extend that right arm if you'd like. Now from here we're going to come to that side angle shape. So the stance of the legs doesn't really change. Reach that left arm forward, get long through the left side body. Bring the forearm down, keep the gaze down, roll the heart open, shoulders away, a little push through that left side. If you want, reach the right arm up. Take 3 breaths. Bring that hand to the hip. Come on back up. Both hands to the hips. Turn to your right. Toes to the long side. Maybe bring the stance in, or you can go a little wider if you feel like you have that space. Take an inhale. Exhale. Lengthen towards tabletop. Maybe bring hands to the support or to the legs. Take 3 breaths here. Long spine. Good. So from here, left hand stays down, right hand comes to the hip or to the pocket. Pull the shoulders away, roll the heart open to the right. Maybe let the hips shift a little bit. Take 3 breaths. And then switch sides, right hand down, left hand up. Turn the heart, shift the hips. 3 breaths. Unwind the twist, soften the knees, start to walk forward, pivot forward, stepping to the top of the mat to that half forward fold. Take an inhale, exhale, sit the hips back. Come all the way up to standing. Bring your hands to the heart. Actually, take those hands to the back pockets or hands to the hips. Roll the shoulders back, maybe a little hug of the elbows. Get really tall. In any amount, just lean back just so you stretch through the front of the body. Take an inhale. And exhale, come back to standing. Release the hands to the side body or to the heart and come back to that intention of strength and kindness. It's a great time just to check in, make sure that that's kind of the balance that you're finding in this practice, in these poses. If not, you can always adjust, always change. All right, so now that you're familiar with those postures, let's flow through them a little bit. Let's take them again. So on an inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, soften the knees, find the forward fold. This time, the left foot steps back. Plant the foot, work it into that warrior 2 shape, and come up to warrior 2. Maybe reach the arms nice and wide. Straighten the front leg, reach forward and let the hand float down. Maybe that left hand extends. Breathing here. Bend the knee, come back to warrior 2, and then reach forward, let the forearm come down, get really active through the side body. Maybe that left arm reaches overhead. Come on back to warrior 2. Take those hands to the hips. Turn to the long side of the mat. Toes to the long side of the mat. Lengthen. Find that half forward fold. Maybe use the block under the hands. Turn the heart to the left. Find the twist. 3 breaths. Go to the other side. 3 breaths. Unwind, soften the knees, walk those fingertips forward, and step towards the top of the mat. Find that half forward fold. Take an inhale, exhale, sit the hips back. Come up to standing. Bringing hands to the heart. Check in with that balance of strength and kindness. And then let's do it again on the other side. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, soften the knees, find the forward fold. Right foot steps back. Set those feet up for warrior 2. Come on up. Maybe extend the arms wide. Straighten the front leg, reach and lengthen forward, and then hand comes down to the thigh or the shin. Maybe that right arm reaches up. 3 breaths. Bend that front knee. Strong stance. Reaching forward, forearm comes to thigh. Maybe the right arm reaches up. Take 3 breaths. Back to your warrior 2. Take hands to the hips. Straighten the legs. Pivot those toes to the long side of the mat. Take an inhale, exhale, lengthen to tabletop. Maybe use the support of the block. This time, right hand to the hip, left hand down. Turn the heart, find the twist. 3 breaths. Switching sides, right hand down, left hand up. Turn the heart, 3 breaths. Start to unwind, soften the knees, walk those hands forward, stepping to the top of the mat. Find an inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, sit back. Come all the way up to stand, bringing hands to the heart. Move those hands to the back pockets or to the hips. A little roll of the shoulders, hug the elbows, lean it back any amount. You can have a soft bend in the knee if you like. Come on back up to standing. Bring hands to the heart and reset. So we'll take that series one more time, moving just a little bit faster through the poses. Certainly take your time if your pace feels a little different than mine today. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, soften into the fold. Left foot steps back, setting up for warrior 2. Come up to warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, reach forward. Hand comes down, open to triangle. Come back to warrior 2. Reach forward, forearm down, left arm might reach up, side angle. Come back to warrior 2, straighten the front leg, toes pivot, hands to the hips. Lengthen into the fold, maybe use the support. Left hand reaches as you turn. Switching side, right hand reaches as you turn. Come back through to center, soften the knees, shift forward, step to the top of the mat. Take an inhale to lift the heart, exhale, soften back. Come all the way up to stand. Hands will come to the heart. Take a breath or 2 here just to find your bearings. We're going to go one more time on the left side. Inhale to reach. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot steps back, setting up for warrior 2. Open up to your warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, reach into your triangle pose. Coming back to warrior 2. Reach forward, come into the side angle. Back to warrior 2. Straighten the legs, toes to the long side of the mat. Big inhale. Lengthen into the fold. Find that half forward fold. Right hand to the hip. Turn the heart. Switching to the other side. Coming back to the half fold. Soften the knees. Walk the fingertips forward. Step to the top of the mat. Take an inhale. Lift the heart. Exhale. Sit the hips back. And then come all the way up to standing. Bringing hands to the heart. One more time, hands come to the back pockets or the hips. Roll the shoulders, hug the elbows, lift the heart a little, lean back. Just open up the front of the body. Take an inhale as you exhale, come back to centered, back to standing. Hands drape beside you or come to the heart. Now, I'll invite you to find a seat, either in a chair or if you feel comfortable sitting on the ground, go ahead and find your way there. When you do find a comfortable seat, let the hands just rest in the lap, wherever the arms and the elbows can kind of dangle and be soft. Just sit up gently tall and let the eyes close. So we'll take just a moment of pause, a moment of rest to close our practice. Let the work in the legs and the reach of the spine and the openness of the heart all settle into the body. And if you've built up some heat, which it's easy to do with those postures that use the strong muscles of the legs, take a few exhales out the mouth just to let it go. And if you can, capture that energy, that essence of strength and kindness, and welcome it into your heart. When you're ready, let the hands rest beside the body. Take a big inhale, reach up, fill up with life, with energy, with lots of love. And pull the hands down to the heart like you're pulling that energy in. Thank you so much for your practice, for taking the time to work with Warrior Two and some of these other poses today. It's my privilege to be here with you. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Namaste.